Hey everyone, welcome back to Accounting Basics. Imagine two companies making the exact same business decision, yet reporting completely different profits. Sounds strange, right? Well, that's exactly what can happen depending on whether they follow US GAAP or IFRS. So today I will show you the real practical differences between US GAAP and IFRS and why these rules can literally change how profitable a company looks, even when nothing else changes. If you've ever studied accounting, finance, or looked at financial statements from companies around the world, you've probably heard the terms US GAAP and IFRS. These are the two major accounting frameworks used globally, but they don't always speak the same language. Let's break them down in a simple way. US GAAP, GAAP, or Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, is primarily used in the United States. It's rule-based, very detailed, and provides specific guidance for many situations. IFRS, on the other hand, or International Finance Reporting Standards, is used in over 140 countries and is more principles-based, meaning it focuses on the economic substance of transactions rather than strict rules. Now, let's look at practical examples where these differences really matter. First example, inventory valuation. Under US GAAP, companies are allowed to use LIFO, last in, first out, LIFO. That means the most recently purchased inventory is recorded as sold first. Under IFRS, LIFO is not allowed. Companies must use methods like FIFO, first in, first out, or weighted average. Here's why this matters. Imagine a company buys inventory at rising prices. Under LIFO, the newer, more expensive inventory is expensed first, which increases cost of goods sold and lowers profit. Under IFRS, FIFO would expense older, cheaper inventory first, showing higher profit. Same company, same inventory, different profit numbers. Example number 2. Revenue recognition. US GAAP provides very detailed step-by-step guidance on revenue recognition. IFRS also follows a 5-step model, but allows more professional judgment. For example, if a company sells a product with future services included, like software with maintenance, IFRS may allow earlier revenue recognition if the value can be reliably measured. US GAAP is usually more conservative and may require deferring more revenue. This can significantly affect timing of revenue, especially for tech and subscription businesses. Here's a third example, asset revaluation. This is a big one. Under US GAAP, once you record an asset like land or buildings, you generally keep it at historical cost minus depreciation. Under IFRS, companies can revalue assets to fair market value. So if a company owns land that is doubled in value, IFRS allows them to show that increase on the balance sheet, but US GAAP does not. This means IFRS financial statements can sometimes show stronger balance sheets even if cash hasn't changed. Example number 4, research and development costs. Under US GAAP, most R&D costs are expensed immediately. Under IFRS, development costs can be capitalized once certain criteria are met. This means an IFRS company might report higher profits in the short term because some expenses are spread over future years instead of hitting earnings immediately. Key takeaways: the biggest difference between US GAAP and IFRS comes down to rules versus principles. US GAAP prioritizes consistency and detailed guidance. IFRS prioritizes flexibility and economic reality. Neither system is better, but they can tell very different financial stories. So the next time you compare companies across countries, remember, the numbers may look different, not because the business is different, but because the accounting rules are. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which accounting topics you want me to cover next. I'll see you in the next one.